Hi everybody, good morning or good afternoon. We are going to look at coves today. I'm at a cove in Barrington, Rhode Island. It's called Allen's Cove, and it is low tide right now. And I just want to give you an idea as to the difference between a cove and an estuary. And I'd like you to take note of the differences as we move through this cove and answer the questions that I'll post after the video. So pay close attention to what kind of animal life and what kind of weathering and erosion has taken place, because you'll be able to see a lot of it now because it is low tide. All right. So as we look out over Narragansett Bay, this is the area that usually is filled with water. Okay, so right now we're at low tide, and as you can see, I'm walking out to where the water would be. Now notice, I'm going to take a closer look at some rocks. You can see some rocks. You can see the difference. The difference in the texture of some of these rocks. Also, you can see this grassy area here. Notice the seaweed that possibly has washed up at high tide, and as the tide rolls out, it also will leave it behind. There's a lot of rocks here. These areas, whether you know it or not, were created by the glacier, as was the bay. So as the glacier receded, it left behind these rocks. Now notice this land over here. Look at this. Some oysters here. Some oysters right here that are encrusted with barnacles. So as the tide rolls in and out, it leaves behind these sea urchins. And you can notice what's going on with the land here. Notice how this is all been, and it's still pretty muddy here. So the tide is going out. Low tide was at like 10 o'clock. High tide comes back in around 2 to 4 o'clock. Notice how the land mass is actually pretty well eroding away. Okay, and you can figure out what that's from. I'm walking, it's getting pretty muddy over here, so I'm going to walk back and we'll show you the rest of the cove. You can see all this area right here is cove, and it goes all the way down to the end there. It'll dump into a river, actually. And we'll keep going down here. This area, as I said, is known as Allen's Cove, which is a part of Barrington, and it's in Upper Narragansett Bay. Now notice the rocks here. They're encrusted with barnacles. They're sitting in there when high tide is. They're sitting in the water. We'll walk out here. Maybe we'll walk through the water, walk across and over to that landmass over there. Let you know if the water's cold or not. But this area right here, all this land is covered in water at high tide. Okay. And all these rocks are just left behind. As the tide rolls in, it carries some of these rocks in. Some of them remain, some of them stay. Some of them get washed back out. The smaller ones will get washed back out and then come back in again as the tide rolls in. Now here's an interesting rock right here, where this rock is very smooth, and it's quite different. It's got a lot of different. This is what we would call a sedimentary rock, because notice the layers of the rock, and what it is they've been pressed together. Okay. I'm going to come over here, walk over here. And that high land mass over there. Now notice the over where the grassy areas is, with the elephant grass is, that area is also, that's where the tide comes in. That's how high the water goes. Okay, we'll walk over here. Pretty interesting out here. It's a little chilly today, but it's a pretty nice day actually. Now in the Fall River area, you have estuaries, you have rivers. The Taunton River, for example, would flow into the Sakonnet River, which flows in two directions. One direction would be it flows down the Mount Hope Bay into Narragansett Bay, and then it also flows all the way down to the ocean, past Third Beach in Newport, past Tiverton, Little Compton, and out to the ocean. And actually, if you go out to Tiverton, out the end of Tiverton and Little Compton, out to the end, you can actually see the islands, Cuddy Hunk and Martha's Vineyard. So we are, just a little Taunton River or Fall River history. Now notice this, it's pretty muddy right here, but notice how this land is just one big mass of land, which probably at one point covered this whole area. And right now, it's just being worn away as the tide rolls in and out. Okay? Pretty quiet out here today. The other day I was out here with the dog, and it's pretty nice. There were quite a few people walking around with their dogs. So there's pretty much what we have. Off in the distance, I don't know if you can see it or not, is an osprey nest on a pole. Osprey at one time were near extinction, and we're on the endangered species list. Oh, the water's actually pretty warm. I was stuck in the water, washed my feet off, my mud off. But they were an endangered species at one time, and they are birds of prey. So they do get, they do hunt around here, and I'm not sure what, I'm sure rabbits and possibly some smaller rodents, mice. So they have made a resurgence over the years, and quite a few years actually, but at one time they were near extinction. So this is Allen Cove. I want you to take note of the difference that I showed you yesterday at the estuary in Colt State Park, as opposed to this. Now, if we come back here in about 4 hours, all this will be covered in water. So that's the lesson for today. I will have questions for you. There's someone walking their dogs on the beach. So that's it from Allen's Cove. Hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm going to take a ride to Newport, and we're going to look at the rocks on Breton Cove, or Breton Reef actually, where we will see some glacier striations, where the glacier actually dragged and formed at Narragansett Bay, Mount Hope Bay, the Sakonnet River, and the Taunton River. So until then, have a good day, and thanks for the memories.